Hey, spilled milkers. Sorry, I've lost my voice a little bit. Too many events down here at the Cayman Cookout, a food festival that you must come to. It's spectacular. I'm sitting here outside of my room. The beach is right there. It's a little overcast today, which is kind of nice. I was starting to get, not a little sunburn, because I try to put a lot of stuff on. But, you know, it's not bad. I mean, it'll rain for 10 minutes and then all the clouds will be gone and it'll be sunny and hot all day. Sorry about the lack of posts last week. Please remember to subscribe, become a paying subscriber. January 31st, 2 more weeks, the shouldn't discount ends. So very, very, very important. What else did I want to say? Of course, I put on a t-shirt and walked outside to do this, and I realized, why am I always in my Poison shirt every single time? I own lots of t-shirts, too many, in fact. Anyway, let us get right to it, shall we? We had some great questions today. I love this community. You really are, you're into it. I love it. Ben writes, I don't drink anymore. I'm not sure how I feel about all the zero alcohol cocktails and spirits that I see during dry January. I value your perspective. Do you mess with these? I don't mess with things that trigger the phenomenon of craving. But by the same token, I'm 32 years sober. And while the phenomenon of craving can happen at any time, like I avoid like the plague any dessert that has bourbon in it or rum. For some reason, those two things just like, boom, go crazy. But pears poached in red wine, nothing, right? Have I consumed non-alcoholic beers? Yes. Have I tried all the de-alcoholized wines? Sure I have. Do I buy them and consume them regularly? No. Would I recommend it for someone in their first 5, 10, 15 years of sobriety? I don't think so. I mean, it's a personal decision. I would not have been able to handle it early on in my sobriety, the first half of it. I mean, maybe even the second half. No, that doesn't make sense, but you know what I'm saying. It's only been in the last decade that I've even thought about those things, and it's very infrequent for me. But I think dry January is great. Here's the problem with dry January. I have so many friends that the last week in January, I say, hey, how's it going? And they say, I've lost 10 pounds. I've never slept better. I'm more productive. My work life has never been better. My family life has never been better. I'm present. I just feel great. And they say, I can't wait till February 1st. And I'm like, so everything is fantastic because you cut alcohol out of your life, but you're just going to go back? Seems weird to me. Anyway, Cara writes, my husband says British food is unfairly maligned. Not sure about that, but are there British dishes you like? Oh my God, the food scene in Britain. Look, when I went to England with my dad for the first time like 50 years ago, food in England was unfairly called boring, boiled, and bland. But by the same time, we were eating in fabulous fish houses like Wheeler's. We were eating in amazing Chinese restaurants in Chinatown. The food that we ate there was spectacular. And if you're a subscriber and you're watching this, you have access to my London restaurant recommendations. London is one of the best food towns on planet Earth right now. And as far as the rest of Britain is concerned, I mean, from Edinburgh to Wales, from the Cotswolds down to the cliffs of Dover, the food is amazing. Food everywhere has just got, the world has, the global food scene is insane. It's insane how good food has gotten all over the place. Now, do I recommend that you go to Fez in Morocco and eat Italian food? I don't. I had a really crappy Italian meal in what's considered the best Italian restaurant there, and I was dragged there by someone else because when I'm in Fez, I want to eat Moroccan cuisine, right? When I'm in Nigeria, I want to eat Nigerian cuisine. When I'm in Senegal, I want to eat Senegalese cuisine. When I'm in, New York City, I want to go to Great New York City. I mean, I want to eat what's of that place. Anyway, I do think it's unfairly maligned. Jensen writes, how many meals do you get out of a roast chicken? Dude, depends how many people are eating. But if I roast a chicken and it's 2 people, I will usually get 3 rock solid meals out of it. Meal number 1 is the roast chicken itself. Meal number 2 is a chicken salad sandwich with whatever big pieces of meat are left over, or 2 chicken salad sandwiches. And then you take the frame and you poach it in chicken broth. So you're making a double strong broth, and you slowly pull all the meat that falls off those bones, and you extract the bones, and then you add some vegetables, and you get maybe 4 or 5 portions of chicken soup. So it's a minimum of 3 with a variety of different sized portions. And that's why I love roast chicken. And you can take the sandwich in any flavor direction you want: curried, jerk, comeback sauce instead of mayonnaise. I mean, just go in any direction you want. Take the soup in any direction you want. Carlos writes, how did you settle the argument about which country invented the omelet? Not my argument. Jose says Spain. Eric says France. I just eat them every day, regardless of who's cooking them. I'm lucky. They make a lot of good omelets. Does my pickleball team have a name? Yes, the Angry Men. We got cheated. We played pickleball. We played a game standard with real paddles and balls. We won. Then we played with pots and pans, and we lost. I don't count that. Angry. I'm very competitive. Chuck writes, I am going to Waikiki and see the Pacific finally. Congratulations, that's awesome. Looking into activities, the luau's and even the special Sunday brunch feel a little too touristy. Yeah, skip it. I thought that with the luau's, $175 or more, the breakfast brunches at $80-90 a person. Skip it, skip it, skip it, skip it. He says, can I find a better culinary experience wandering around in search of good local places? While I don't have a car, the bus system seems like it can get me pretty much anywhere. Yes, and Uber there is very inexpensive. And present the opportunity to ride to the last stop and see what's there. Clearly he's read my books or listened to me. Thanks, Chuck. The Loco Moco Bowl at the Rainbow Drive-In is already calling my name. It's fantastic. I love the Rainbow. I love Ono's for poke. What is your take on the luau brunch scene? Don't do it. You can support the culture and the economy other ways. I just think the hotel luau's and brunches are ways that the hotel makes money. And I think it is a sort of, it's not a perversion of local culture. It is a way to use the local culture to their advantage in a way that does not actually contribute to the first peoples of the Hawaiian Islands. And it's nauseating sitting there watching this. I would rather go somewhere to a local high school and eat huli huli chicken that someone is grilling outside and watch real dance that's going on. There are ways to engage in local culture that are amazing in Hawaii. But yes, Rainbow Drive-In for Loco Moco. And he wants suggestions on places to go in Waikiki and Honolulu. Thanks in advance. So here's the deal. I'm not sure there's a better city for breakfast. I mean, traditionally, so many people would work in the agriculture sector. I'm going back a century, 80 years, 60 years, that they had to create places where people could have these massive breakfasts to fuel them all day long for working in the fields. So it is kind of a breakfast culture over there. So here's a bunch of places that I really like. The Waiahole Poi Factory, which does great plate lunches, just absolutely fantastic. Over Easy for breakfast is really, really awesome. Helena's Hawaiian Food, which got a James Beard Classic Award, I don't know, decades ago, is unbelievable. They have all the local hits there. Lomi Lomi and Kahlua Pig. I mean, just everything there. Must go to Helena's Hawaiian Food. Zimmern, which is a Chinese, Japanese hybridized place, is wonderful. There's a lot of that. Go to the old Chinatown. Lily Ha Bakery is another great place to start your day. Go to the original little one, which I think is Kuakini Street. There's several locations, but go to the original one. Ethel's Grill is just a mixed Japanese, Okinawa, hybridized thing. There's a lot of that going on in Hawaii because as people have moved there, especially to Honolulu and that part of the island, there's tons of really great mishmash stuff. Japan meets Mexico meets this with lots of indigenous ingredients like great fish. I'm just looking at my last trip there. New restaurant, Japanese, Nami Kaze, Namikaze, kind of fancy. Pig and the Lady for Vietnamese food is fantastic. Let's see, what else did I love that fits into your category? Fete, Hawaii, James Beard Award winner, FETE, spectacular. Skip the pizza. Morning Glass Coffee, oh my God. Great biscuits, solid baked goods, great honey buns, and insane coffee. Of all the mishmashes, Hawaiian Chinese food is probably the most famous. And 8 Fat 8 Bar and Grill, the number 8 Fat 8, the number 8 Bar and Grill, does it better than, and I mean, noodle cakes, dumplings, I mean, just spectacular. Bar Maze, Maze, is a modern version of that. Great cocktails, but the food that goes with the cocktails there is spectacular. Kyung's Seafood. Everyone wants seafood, right? So you know these really expensive places. Go to Kyung's, KYUNG''S, Kyung's Seafood, and I mean, absolutely spectacular. What else do I got for you? Chengdu Taste. I mean, I love Chinese food. Chengdu Taste is awesome there. Sichuan cuisine in Hawaii, but obviously when you order the seafood there, it's local seafood, and so that's a great thing. Same thing with Izakaya Tore, Torae, Tore, Izakaya Tore. Same thing for Japanese food. Yeah, I think that's good enough, right? I mean, that'll keep you busy. Hey, Andrew, what are the biggest eats in Brisbane, Australia I should try? Oh my gosh. Brisbane. Well, I was there a couple years ago. So call to make sure that you know what these are, but I actually have a Brisbane list. There's so much great food in Australian cities. A friend of mine who's here at the Cayman Cookout is from Perth, and we were just talking about the food scene, and again, influences from all over. So you have a lot of sort of like Scandinavian Asian restaurants using local fish and cheese and meat there. That's just spectacular. Joy is that way. Elska is that way, which is insane. Agnes is a restaurant where they cook everything over. There's no electricity in the kitchen. Everything is over wood fire. Wine is such a big part of Australian lifestyle, and there's a place called La Lune, Lalune, that does wine and snacks, and it's wonderful. French food, C'est Bon, Cestbon, wonderful place. What else did I like? great for sitting outside. They have a wonderful deck underneath trees. It's a Chinese restaurant called Happy Boy that's wonderful. I just love the outside of it. There's a lot of good Greek food in Brisbane. Greca, Greca, is really good. And they have these giant local prawns. I mean, big, big, big. Done, with oregano and olive oil and tomato. It's, fantastic. Same is is from a guy that used to work for Neil Perry. Asian influenced Australian food. So go to Same. That was the stuff that I think you should check out in Brisbane. All right, one more question. Best Southeast Asian country to eat in? I mean, who is the best? Who's your favorite cousin? Oh, look, French chefs behind me on the beach. That's Frederick Morneau, the executive chef here of the Ritz-Carlton, getting ready for the big brunch event. I'm recording this on Sunday morning. There is no way, and I get asked this question all the time, there is no way to answer broad questions like that. Is a great meal in Seoul, South Korea, better than a great meal in Hanoi, or better than a great meal in Chengdu, or in Bangkok, or in Manila, or in Jakarta, or in Singapore, or in Penang, Malaysia? I can pull experiences out of each of those cities in the 7 different countries they represent and tell you that was the best I ever had, and then be like, no, is it really better than? It's not better than. Those are all great places to go. I long to get back every time I can to Singapore. I long to get back to Penang, Malaysia. Japan, Okinawa is in the south, right? Is a whole different cuisine down there. Okinawa was its own empire before it joined the country of Japan. I don't think you can call anyone any different. There was a great quote, and I rarely do this, but my late friend Anthony Bourdain famously said that he wanted to live out the last days of his life living thoroughly in Vietnam. And what he meant was, a shack on the coast where you can swim in the water, where you can sit and watch the sun and watch it go down every night and eat that incredible food and live the most simple way possible. And it's one of the most accurate things that I ever heard him say, in the sense that if you live a life of hustle and bustle and you want to just get away from it all, sure, go to a rural beach in Thailand, in the Philippines, in Vietnam, and just hang and eat. And will that be the best experience you've had in decades? Sure. But to me, it's not any better than going to a big bustling city like Manila or Bangkok and experiencing that different kind of energy. So better? No. Is that the most exciting region in the world to eat in? Southeast Asia? Well, the Western Europeans would argue, is it better than, Italy, France, Croatia, Spain, Portugal? I don't know. When I'm over in Western Europe, it's pretty darn good. Then when I go over to Southeast Asia, although I will say, for those of us, and I'm one of them, that loves big flavors, big smiles, amazing human beings, where every corner that you turn provides a new discovery, yeah, Southeast Asia. It has to be, right? It just has to be. See you later, spilled milkers. Have a great rest of your day.